Bitch, you ain't bigger than the program. Bitch, you ain't bigger than the program. Next time you need to remember. Bitch, you ain't bigger than the program. I ain't no nigga bigger than the program.
Do you feel C Murder could do more good being out than in?
Yeah, I think if he really changed, which I think he did, so I want to say this on the record too. So I think over time, that system breaks you. You're not the same person. You know from being on the inside, you come home, that's the closest thing to hell on earth. With the Rainbow Coalition on the inside, the way it's even ran is like the closest thing to hell on earth. You taking orders, the whole infrastructure of prison in itself. So I think over the years, he is a different person, but I think because of the way things transpired, that he can't say, oh, well, this is what happened or that was happening. Now you got to go all out on that invisible code that you invented. But I think coming home, because he is who he is, and because he don't have anything on his name to the public, like I said, they wouldn't even know the other stuff had I not said it. Then I think if he says, if he tried to do something positive like Terrence doing, then I think it would be that he would be able to do more good.
Do you feel you have any influence over his freedom, like writing the judge or advocating for him?
I don't. I think to an extent, and what I mean by that, because the case is final. So because the case is already final, I don't think I can go to a judge and say, hey, it's time for him to come home. Can you let him out? Now, I do believe if he go before a clemency board, then the family of the victim does have a say-so. So it has some bearing if he went before a clemency board to what we think. If we think, okay, he should come home. But like I said, I will go on record to say now what I need is an apology, and I need you to give my parents what they were owed, no matter where that come from. So you got all these super celebrity friends, the Willie D's that don't know what the hell's going on, or they take a portion of what happened with the case and say, oh, this is not right. And you give them that platform to speak on, or the Kim Kardashians jumping in the family business and don't know what's going on, but try to shed light on the Southern system. And I'm not going to say that it's perfect, because I'm not that naive either. But like I always say, I believe in God. So if you really didn't do something, at the end of the day, it's God that's going to exonerate you. But if your heart is not in that direction, then he's not going to let you out either, because you got ill intent on what you do. Your motives aren't pure.
If you had a chance for UNC Murder could do a tour to show forgiveness and positivity, would you be open to that?
Would I be open? I don't know, bro. I don't know if I wanted to sit down with him to read body language, like I said, and then that'll give me my answer of what I need. So that was my reason for sitting down. But because all the other evidence, like I said, that said he did it, and I'm human, I'm not gonna lie to the audience. I don't know how I would feel about sitting down with somebody that killed my brother. Now, the Christian side of me would like to say, okay, I forgave him, I'm good, but I'm human.
The sit down you had with East Silent, y'all talked about a lot of things. Do you think after y'all did that interview on Terrence Gangsta Williams' page, he saw things differently?
Yeah, I saw, but I won't go on record to say this too. I saw something different as well. That's why I said it's why I'm answering these questions the way I'm answering them now. The only thing I didn't agree with, like E said, that he couldn't sit with me because of the rules of the prison. And I get that even in the feds, that's without knowledge or consent, meaning if the victim's family say they want to meet and the warden okay it, I know in the feds it's a way. The state, I don't know, but I'm only assuming. So he was like, he didn't want to sit down with me because it was against the law. But to my understanding, if I'm the one that initiated, then it's up to C to say yay or nay. And the warden or whomever like staying there, because there's been plenty of stuff that I saw in the past, and again the rules could have changed. I don't know, where people that were killed, the mothers or fathers went to those people and said, "I forgive you." I know this personally, but I just don't know how the rules are in a state with that. That's the only thing that I disagree with. What E. Solid said that I do agree with is the mind state of the Willie Lynch letter and the black people, because I have that same passion to help people in general, but they like to call me hypocritical, but it's hypocritical when you go to a community and you say, hey, what about the black on black crime? What about the black people that kill the black kids? And then they spit in your face with no, we don't snitch, we don't do this, we don't do that. So how do you expect to clean up a community if you still trying to hold up these false laws? So you can't hold up God's law and then the laws of the world. It don't mirror. You can't have two masters. So you got to follow one. Are we going to help the community, or are we going to stick to these gangster rules?
So when you say the rules that he couldn't break, was it the jailhouse rules or was it the prison rules? I need to elaborate on that.
Yeah, according to E. Solid, if I'm not mistaken, he was saying that the prison rules, that the convicted murderer can't contact the family of their victims. But to my understanding, like I said in the feds, if it's the family that reaches out, then it's up to that person and the warden, if I'm not mistaken, to say yay or nay. Because even when they go for parole boards, they have to say, I'm sorry this happened, I'm sorry that happened. That's to my understanding. So I don't know wholeheartedly, but he taught me a lot with that. And then what he said with that Willie Lynch letter, as far as the mindset of blacks and us hating ourselves and killing each other. So it was deep, man. I appreciate E. Solid. Like I said, just on the C murder thing, we agree to disagree. But as a man, I respect him.
Okay, shout out to E. Solid, man. In 2018, two key witnesses recanted their testimonies. What was your reaction to that news?
I had already talked to Peanut.
That's the security guard, right?
Yeah, that's the security guard. That's Darnell Jordan. So I had already talked to him. So he was getting blackballed in the industry. I had told that story. He was trying to drop music. And y'all can go check out his page, Shinut, SHIRENUTT. He remixed the MC Thick Thing Marrero. He had remixed the song to his whatever the modern day was stuff at that time. But because he was getting blackballed in the industry and they got to him, so he changed it. And like I said, it would all make sense if you said they forced me to change my story, but would they force you to come to my house? If anybody can answer me that, the police made me say it was him. The police didn't make you come to my house and say, dude did it in the layout that you laid out.
Does these developments affect your faith in the justice system or your feelings that the justice was or wasn't served?
No, I think justice was served. What a lot of people don't know is dude was offered a 20-year plea. He would have been home. They offered him a 20-year plea before the start of the second trial. Remember, he got convicted 12-0 unanimously. And then because Martha Sassoon got the bag, gave him the retrial, gave him a brand new retrial saying that the DA withheld evidence that the witnesses had backgrounds or something.
You said Martha Sassoon?
Yeah, that was the female judge.
She received the bag?
Yeah, the money, somebody gave her when I say the bag, somebody gave her a big bag. So they like to talk word on the street. So word on the street was that Master P gave her the bag. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. P didn't decline it. When I talked to P, what P said was Big Dog in Avondale. Richard Pena. What P said, the only thing he disagreed with me with, his words, not mine, was Richard Pena didn't give him money to start No Limit Records. He said it wasn't funded. He said Wango was evil. He left it at that. He said, I'm gonna tell you, Wango was an evil person, but Richard Pina didn't give me money to start my record company. If you remember, part of Wango's agreement was he was trying to get the feds to go after P, saying that the No Limit was started and funded with drug money. And he said it was P who paid him to go get the videotape and to make the witnesses with the C Murder thing go away. This was Wango's words. This is all FBI documented. So after I did Boss Talk 101, shout out to ECO. ECO is No Limit in and out. no limit born and raised, man, in and out. So after I did ECO's Boss Talk 101, P called him. That's who put that together. So I can't take credit for that. P said what he disagreed with. The only thing he disagreed with is No Limit wasn't started by Richard Pina. That his grandfather left him insurance money, and that's how it was started. So with that being said, if somebody tell you the only thing that they disagree with, what's the assumption? Everything else I said was true. Even dude being high on heroin. This is how me and ECO got jammed to the way we are, to where we have a level of respect. Because I don't know if you saw it, they were Procy murdered. Him and Miss Jamaica, his wife. Procy murdered. But then after the interview, he talked to some people and then he called me and was like, hey, you were right. So I don't know if he gonna go on record to say it, but I'm gonna go on record to say it.
The talk you had with P, was it a face-to-face or a phone call?
No, it was a phone call.
Man, how long was that phone call?
35, 40 minutes maybe.
Do you think once you talk to him, a lot of things that you needed answered was answered, or still he left some gaps?
Yeah, for the most part, everything was answered. That's why I felt at ease, and I was like, there's no doubt in my mind. The biggest thing was that if C Murder don't change his way of thinking, then he's always going to be in prison.
So the second judge, I'm thinking about this. You said the first judge was allegedly paid off. The second judge was a different judge, right? Or was it the same?
No, different judge. So Sassoon was up for re-election. This is what Rashid was trying to get into, but I think he's misinformed. She was up for re-election. The judge that was running against her used what was going on, I guess, to their advantage. So that's why everybody's saying it was political and people were trying to make names. But that wasn't the case. Sassoon was dirty. If Sassoon wasn't dirty, then she wouldn't have to step down. And you could Google her stuff too. Judge Martha Sassoon. She was removed from being a judge. So that means they found something dirty on you. That's not allegations. That's not, oh, somebody said this, somebody said that. Like I said, the her getting the bag stuff, I don't think it was proven. But something happened where she had to step down. And you had to step down for a reason. And I think it was dealing with this case, because she was trying any reason to give him a retrial. And then he got the retrial. And then when he got the retrial, the DA came and was like, they asked my parents, would they be okay with 20 years? Now, keep in mind, somebody kills your son. And now they want to ask you, is 20 years enough time? It's never enough time, because I even hear the people in the comments say, oh, it's been 20 plus years. It's been almost 30 years. Let him go. I can't wake my brother up out the grave and say, hey, little bro, it's been almost 30 years. Wake up. Come on, wake up. Let's go home. Because we could never get that life back. At least they can visit him. So my parents, through tears, crying, said, you know what? We just want to hear what happened and have him admitted, and we would accept the 20-year plea. So they go back to him. This is 2009, the second trial, I think. And they tell him that my parents are okay with the 20 years. And they just, when you take a plea, you got to say what happened. He comes back and say he's not even taking 20 days, let alone 20 years. So he went to trial, and then the second trial was the 11-1, 10-2, however they call it, conviction. And that's why he got a mandatory life sentence, but he was offered 20 years.
No, bitch ain't bigger than the program. Bitch ain't bigger than the program. Bitch ain't bigger than the program. And that's something we need to remember. Bitch ain't bigger than the program. I ain't no nigga bigger than the program.